Recording in progress.
Yes, I.
Yes, we have all the role takers here. We can get started.
Great, thanks. Let's quickly begin with the business session for the day. Since the VP education is not among us right now, I would like to, on behalf of her, give you all an update on the roles open for the next meeting. So the 2 speech slots have been taken up by Toastmaster Prashant and Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa. And the table topic master has been taken up by Toastmaster Vaishnavi. All other roles are open. I request all the members to proactively come forward and take them up. Secondly, we are having our Division C contest on the 21st of May. Toastmaster Balaji will be representing our club in the International Speech Contest, and Supreet will be representing us for the table topic contest and the evaluation contest. I request all of you to keep an eye out for the updates on the venue and timings. They will be posted on the group soon. Please do register for that, and please go cheer for the members participating and representing our club. Also, the most awaited annual conference of District 121 is coming up. It is titled Crescendo. This time, it is the most affordable conference in terms of the price, as far as the pricing is concerned. There's going to be a lot of exciting contests, keynote speakers, and a lot of fun. And also we'll be having, if at all Balaji and Supreet do win prizes, they will be also competing in the knuckle breaking battle in the semi-finals. So I request all of you to please register for the same and go there, have fun, and take home a lot of good learnings from the same. With that, I will conclude my business session and now hand over the charge to Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Shiva. Over to you.
Am I audible to the online audience?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. A very beautiful evening to my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I have this crossword puzzle with me. You know, if we had the time and if this was not a speakers club, I would enjoy solving it with all of you. But since we have a dearth of time, we will be playing a much simpler game today. As and when I call you out, please give me an answer as and when I call out your names. You have to give me a word starting with this letter that you see on the screen. This game is called Name, Place, Animal, Thing that we used to play in our childhood. Okay, first I'll start with Toastmaster Sai Snail. Give me a name from T. Tanvi. Thank you, Tanvi. Beautiful name. Next, I will start Toastmaster Sindhusri, a place starting from the letter T. Thailand. Tyagaraja Nagar would be better. An animal from starting from the letter T, DT Mudanka. Tiger, thank you, the pride of our nation, tiger. And finally, a thing, anything from the letter T, Toastmaster Gaurav. Tap, thank you. Thank you for playing the game. Congratulations, you have played this childhood game, which I enjoyed a lot. My fellow Toastmasters, words are the most basic element in all of our speeches. And if you make usage of good words, words can have the power to melt the heart of even the coldest and toughest people. Words can ensure that you can move mountains. Words can bring a smile on people's faces, and you can even make the most depressed person, you can even give him the will to fight back with your words. But wrong usage of words, you can break a relationship in a matter of seconds. So choose your words wisely. And for Toastmasters, choosing their words wisely is the most important thing, because a good usage here can make their speech and a bad usage there can break their speech. Speaking of Toastmasters, let me introduce someone who has a way with her words. It's as if this theme was keeping her in mind. She's, when you listen to her, I am sure all of you will say, my word, what words? Nice words. There is truly something about words. She is a qualified ACCA and a qualified chartered accountant currently working with PwC. Aside from commerce, she has varied interests. She absolutely enjoys playing the guitar and she loves to paint. She also loves to learn new languages, new words, and she also loves to practice yoga. The former secretary, associate, VPPR, VPM, and VPE of our club, please put your hands together for President Toastmaster Ankita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shiva, for that very flattering introduction. Indeed, I do love words and I love to play with them and use them in different ways just to pique interest of people that are listening to me. So let's quickly get started with the meeting for today. I would first like to call upon Toastmaster DTM Udanka to come up and please read out the minutes of the meeting number 1160.
Thank you, Madam President. Minutes of meeting number 1160 held on 2nd May 2022. Theme, the road less explored. Word of the day, straight. The business session started at 6:45 p.m. and was chaired by President Toastmaster Ankita. In the business session, the following points were discussed. On behalf of Vice President Education, the President mentioned that all roads are open for the next meeting. Area Director Toastmaster Bhavani announced the District's 121 annual conference crescendo, and the members were encouraged to register for the same. There is an education session held on 9th May 2022 by Usha Anga DTM. The regular meeting started at 6:50 p.m. Acting Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Shiv Prasad started the meeting with an introduction about the theme, later handed over the charge to President Toastmaster Ankita. President Toastmaster Ankita opened the meeting, spoke on the theme and introduced the Master of Ceremonies, DTM Udanka. Master of Ceremonies, DTM Udanka spoke on the theme and introduced the following role takers. Timer, Toastmaster Sai Snehal. Counter, Toastmaster Shiva. Grammarian, Toastmaster Vijay. PP Evaluator, Toastmaster Gaurav Badri. The prepared speech session had the following speakers. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Vaishnavi, attempting level 2, project 3, evaluated by Toastmaster Lalana. The table topic session was conducted by DTM Subramanian and had the following speakers. DTM Emubad, Toastmaster Arundhati, Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa, Toastmaster Gaurav, Toastmaster Lana, Toastmaster Vijay, Toastmaster Sai Snehal, guest Sanjana, Toastmaster Mamta. The general evaluation session was conducted by DTM Emubad. The winners of the week were Best Prepared Speaker, Toastmaster Vaishnavi, Best Evaluator, Toastmaster Lalamurthy, Best Table Topic Speaker, Toastmaster Lalamurthy, Best Role Taker, Tajji, Toastmaster Sai Snehal, Best Role Taker, MTG, DTM Emubad. The President closed the meeting at 8:42 p.m. And back to you, President.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Udanka, for reading out the minutes of the meeting. With that, I would like to ask you all, are there any changes proposed to the minutes of the meeting? Okay, if no, I shall consider it as passed. And now I would open meeting number 1161. Firstly, I would like to call upon our VP membership Toastmaster Gaurav to please help me welcome the guests and ask them to briefly introduce themselves.
Good evening to all the Toastmasters and to all the guests present in today's meeting. Most probably I would have spoken to a few of the guests on the phone, but sorry, I don't remember your names. And please, any of the guests come and please introduce yourself and how you got to know about Toastmasters.
Hi, everyone. My name is Manjunath. I work in Bestcom as a manager, and I heard about Toastmasters like long back, 1 year back, when I was like company secretary was taking this Toastmaster, and they introduced us. They took us a guest, and I was very impressed by this Toastmaster class. So I wanted to join. So my friend Hansika told me there is a class here going on. So I thought like let me join here. So I'm here. Good evening, Toastmasters. Tandaveshwar. I'm not new to this Toastmasters. So I used to come before the pandemic happened. So now I would look forward to meeting all these sessions and attending all these sessions. So and learn a lot of things that happen here. Thank you very much.
I have a fear of
Good evening, all the Toastmasters. This is Piyush Anjalia Jain from Raichur. I'm a member of Mysore Toastmasters Club, and this will be my first offline meeting. As I stay in Raichur, got to know it through Upendra sir. We met yesterday in a training event. Sai Snehal was also there, Sindhushi was also there. So I'm a law graduate and a chartered accountant finalist. I'm very happy to be here and all the dignitaries.
Yeah, that's it from the guest side, Ankita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav. I welcome all the guests to our club. I hope that you all enjoy the meeting and take home a lot of learnings from this very fruitful session that's just about to begin. So a very, very, very warm good evening to all the fellow Toastmasters and all the guests that I can see from my screen sitting on the table. I so wish I could be there among you all, but I think I'm just swamped with a lot of work from office. So I wasn't able to make it. Nevertheless, good evening to all of you present here. Right after the birth of a baby, parents eagerly wait in anticipation of its first word. Don't you all agree? We all wait to see, okay, what is the first word that this baby is ever going to utter? This is partly because they are extremely exhausted trying to figure out what the baby is trying to say through the loud wails and cries throughout the day. But also because a new milestone is reached when the baby speaks its first ever word. As we grow old, we tend to forget the magical power of words. So many times at our homes, workplaces, or with strangers altogether, we forget how much of an impact simple words like thank you or I'm sorry can make. Now, I recently joined a new organization to work with full-time. And one thing I learned is that if you're polite and know exactly how to weave the right message out of your words, communication gaps can be eliminated even in a work from home setup. Each time you don't understand something, be open about it and admit it. If you feel a friend of yours is being unreasonable, say it. And most importantly, if you're spending time with a loved one, let them know how much they mean to you, because words leave an everlasting impact. And while the pen may seem mightier than the sword, allowing your sword to lose its charm might not be the best idea, because along with words, your body has a language of its own too. Sit for an interview with your hands folded, and you will be deemed to be a closed person, not open to new ideas. Work briskly, and you will come across as someone extremely confident. You will hear more about these in the very special education session by distinguished Toastmaster Usha Iyengar that we have planned for all the members today. To take this forward, we have someone with us who is always beaming with confidence and energy, irrespective of a brisk walk or not. He has completed his graduation in BCom Honors from Jain University. He is currently pursuing his chartered accountancy. He is also a travel buff. He loves cycling, he loves visiting new places and biking. He is also the immediate past president of Mekon Communication Club, a very helpful, sincere, patient, and reliable person. This person has been my pillar of support in Toastmasters by not only his words, but also his actions. Please help me welcome the team out for the day, Toastmaster Sai Snehal Reddy, to take the session forward. Over to you, Sai Snehal.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ankita. Words truly are something, isn't it? 2 months ago, I started drinking hot water with lemon every morning, and I lost 5 kgs of lemon and 1 kg of honey. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. Words, when said in the right way, can change someone's mind. They can change someone's belief. You can make or break a person just by using the words. You can make a person who is in slump very successful, and person who is sad to depression. That is the power of words, and that each of us possess. I realized that words have power when I was in final year of BCom. When a friend of mine was very enthusiastic, or rather, he has a way of things about arguing about things or putting across the point he had to say. Whether arguing with the traffic police or arguing with or bargaining with anybody, he always had a way around. A couple of us noticed this for a while, and we told him, "You may make a really good lawyer. I think you should pursue law when we are finishing BCom." He kept saying this over and over again. He actually took up law, LLB, right after BCom, and today he's a lawyer. That is what words can do. It can make you change your career also if you put across rightly. It is extremely important how you say and what you say. You may have nice things to say, but if not put across well, it may shatter the other person. Let me tell you a small story of how it changed a person's, or rather a child's career by the teacher's words. There was this one small school kid. He was a backbencher, like most of us would like to be. There was a surprise test conducted one fine day, and he was shocked. But without having a way to go away from it, he gave the test and the results came after a few days. To his surprise, he topped the exam, which he had never done before. He felt that he also could do it. And right after a few days, every student's nightmare, the parent-teacher meeting was there. That's when the teacher told the parent, he's a genius, but he just needs to be put or focused in the right direction. He took something away, or rather he assumed some kind of appreciation from that one particular meeting. And he shifted from sitting from the last bench to the first bench. He started focusing on what is in classes and everything. The same thing went on till college, graduation, even through interviews. He landed in a well-paying job also. After 11 years after this one exam which changed his life, an audit was conducted in the exam which was held. Because there were reports that a lot of discrepancies were held. And few days after that audit, he got a letter to his house mentioning, the exam which you wrote, you actually failed. It didn't matter to him whether he failed or not then. But the words which he received from all his teachers, parents, and everybody who believed in him changed his life. That are the power of words. Dear Toastmasters, words have power and we often don't give the credit it deserves. People were finding it extremely difficult to convey the message well. They may have something nice to say, but that's the problem where it starts from. It's not put well. And this is what Ralph C. Smedley noticed in the early 90s. He noticed people may have something nice to say or people were struggling to find something to tell. And that is when he started Toastmasters. He started Toastmasters in the year 1924 with an aim to help people become better speakers, communicators, and leaders. Which started out as a single club. Today, there are about 15,800 clubs and 3 lakh members across 149 countries. All of this to help members become better speakers and communicators. So, dear Toastmasters, are the words important or not?
So for the benefit of the guest, a typical Toastmaster meeting consists of 3 sessions. The first one being the prepared speech session, where a speaker prepares on a topic of the project which they choose. Second one, a table topic session, is an impromptu speaking session where the table topic master gives the speaker a topic impromptu and the speaker has to think on the feet and give a response. The third, the general evaluation session where the proceedings of the meeting are evaluated and given feedback so that we can work on. Usually we have the prepared speech session, but today we are doing a little bit different by having the education session. But before I get to that, I have a few role takers to help me run the meeting. I request the role takers to come and explain the roles as and when I call them. Our counter, Toastmaster, Pavni.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters in here. As an accounter, I note any overused words or filler sounds such as used as crutch, anyone who speaks during the meeting. The words may be inappropriate interjections such as and, as, well, but, so, you know. And sounds may be or spaces. And I'll give my report whenever I was called. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pavni. Next, we have grammarian Toastmaster Balaji AS.
Fabulous evening, Master Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any misuses of the English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce you all to the word of the day. Well, the word of the day is embodiment. The meaning of embodiment is a tangible or visible form of an idea, quality, or feeling. Now, if we'll have to use this in a sentence, Mother Teresa was often regarded as the embodiment of selfless devotion to others. I'm going to put the same on chat for easy access to the word of the day. Now, I will also keep a tab on how many of you will be using the word of the day and provide the same by the end of this session. I also have another role for the day. I will be enhancing all your eye contact. Considering this is the only video you will be looking at, I will be forcing you to look at the phone as well.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Next up, can we have timer Toastmaster Vaishnavi?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests present. Has the timer for today. For the education session, I'll be showing green card for 20 minutes and yellow card for 25 minutes and the red card for 30 minutes. And the question and answer session will be for 5 minutes, I'll be showing green card, and for 10 minutes, I'll be showing the yellow card, and for 15 minutes, I'll be showing the red card. And for the table topic sessions, the table topics, I'll be showing the green card for 2 minutes, 1 minute, and the yellow card for the end of 1.30 seconds, and the red card at the end of 2 minutes. And I'll be presenting my report during the general evaluation session. Thank you, and back to you.
Lastly, can we have the PP Evaluator Toastmaster Shiva?
Once again, very good evening to my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. As the parliamentary procedure evaluator for today, I request you to kindly avoid speaking about sex, religion, and politics. And if you have to, then be mindful of the mindful of the thoughts of the people, and keep your phones on silent at all times. Move around or leave the room only during an applause. For the online audience, please keep your video on at all times. I see most of the videos are not on, and keep muted at all times unless called upon. And I will be giving my report at the end of the meeting. Back to you, Master Sid.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiva. Are you all ready for this wonderful education session today? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Yes. Like I mentioned earlier, we have a very special education session today. Instead of the regular prepared speech session, and education sessions are planned once in a while to help members get an insight and help them to better their skills and present it. Today's education session speaker is not new to Toastmaster. She's been here for about 19 years. Yes. She's a distinguished Toastmaster. She's a distinguished Toastmaster from Daffodils Toastmasters Club. She was a past division director as well. And currently she's a retired banker. She really loves challenges, and that's what made her work for India's largest public sector bank. And today she's here to tell us what body language is all about. Please welcome our education session speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Usha Iyengar, with the session titled as The Body Speaks. Please, with a round of applause.
Let me first do a few introductions and then words of introduction. Good evening. I deem it a privilege to be here at Mekon Toastmasters Club because I think Mekon Toastmasters is the embodiment of how a professionally run Toastmasters Club should be. Having said that, I would like to dive straight into the session, The Body Speaks. I heard everyone who took the lectern say how words are important. Now, I would like to be slightly controversial. Yes, words are important. But verbal communication, how much is it, do you think, in terms of percentage of communicating? Any guesses? Well, according to one specific school called the Mehrabian Communication School, it is just 7%. And the other 93%, body language. The body truly speaks. Ramses Medley, when he started Toastmasters, what did he say? He said he was not going to teach as to what people should say, but how they should say it. Body language makes a tremendous impact. Toastmasters, all of you use body language. All of you know how to read body language to a greater or lesser level. It starts even as you are an infant. A child looks at his mom and knows whether the mom is happy or sad or whatever, and vice versa as well. That being the case, how do we use body language? And why is body language so very important? Let me ask, would you like to be thought of as smart? Raise your hands if you think you would like to be thought of as smart. Confident? Self-assured? In control of a situation? Energetic? Honest? Successful? Reliable? Trustworthy? Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, these and many more traits people determine within a nanosecond. Some say 7 seconds but it is within a nanosecond. So isn't it important that you have the best body language ever? Yes? So, be it interpersonal communication, be it at the corporate level, be it at home, or be it at Toastmasters, you would like to have the right body language. You want to be considered as a person who's friendly, who knows it, who is there, and you want to be like them, and you want others to emulate you. Right. I come from a service organization. And in a service organization, what do you think is very important? Communication. Agreed. Patience. Yes? Being humble. Okay. Actually, when you first go to any organization, be it a government organization or a service organization, what's the first thing? And you want some work to be done. What do you do? What do you do when you enter a place which you don't know, but you need some work to be done? Are you authoritative? Do you think you can get your work done if you're authoritative? Yes, no. You ask somebody, how do you choose which person you would ask? Somebody who's approachable. Absolutely right, spot on. First and foremost, what is the body language of the person that you are going to approach? You're going to look at them. You're going to scan the whole area and just see if somebody is going to give you even a half smile. And then you're focused. So, okay, maybe they're going to help me. However, if there is somebody over there, they look at you, they're not saying anything. No words have been uttered. But you know fully well, you are not good. Many of you here may be businessmen or businesswomen having your own industries, obviously. Alternatively, you might be in the service industry. You might have a lot of people working along with you, under you, so on and so forth. That being the case, you would want to know which or who are the right people to occupy those seats where they are exposed to the public. I, being in the banking industry, I was once the chief manager of personal banking. I wanted my front level staff to be those kind of people who, when a customer entered, smiled. You don't smile, the customer is going to be uncomfortable. So anytime I go into a government organization, there's a lot of trepidation. Will my job be done? Will it not be done? So on. And I want my work to be done. So I look, I scan, and I hope that somebody smiles at me. Even a half smile will do. And then I go, and now I am not going to be forceful, authoritative. I just want my work to be done. So my body language is going to be, there will be some amount of pleading in it, not with words, but you do say, please. Do you think it is possible? Everything, as somebody said, humble. Okay. I am not going to be, it does not mean that you're going to grovel or anything, but you are going to say in the politest language so that you do not give any kind of affront. So people will say, oh, she was so rude to me. How can I do that? No. So you are going to use a body language where you ensure your work is done. However, this does not work every time. But
When I started the session, I said, how many of you like to be called smart, confident, and the kind of person you like to go to? It depends also on your posture. What is body language comprise of? What is body language? Okay, guys? Body language obviously is non-verbal communication. It largely comprises of three things: posture, facial expressions, and hand gestures. Now, I would like to give you another example of how you use body language unconsciously. When there is a knock at the door in your house, and you go and open the door, you see a friend you haven't seen for a long time, a friend. What happens to your face? Oh, your eyes widen. How nice to see you. Don't you say that? Or if you were going to say it in the vernacular, you say, bunny, bunny. No, you move. And then you ask them to come. You just take another situation. There's a knock on the door. And you open the door and you see somebody whom you hope you never would see again. How do you think your body language is going to be? You open the door. The hello is indicative of no hello. Please, why have you come? If you go away, it would be nice. Coming back to the service industry again. I used to observe my staff, 2:30 was lunchtime. If a customer came at 2:30, what do you think would happen? Some people would say they would put lunchtime board. Straight away, indicator, go. Mind you, at 2:40, you have not yet closed, you're about to go. A long lost friend enters with a customer who sees you. You look at them with a wide smile and they already put the word lunchtime. Don't worry about this. I've not seen you at all for such a long time. Tell me, how can I help you? Look at the body language. You do it subconsciously. So be very conscious about the kind of body language that you use. But you may come back to me and say, Madam, it's subconscious. Usha, it's subconscious. It may be subconscious, but you can practice all the while to give your best feature all the time. You can learn how to smile. Every time in Toastmasters, they say, smile. You don't have, it doesn't cost you anything. It's going to win you so many friends. So, what is it that you have to learn about body language to gain all those traits that I said when I started my session? Okay, first and foremost, let us start with posture. How do you think the posture should be? You should stand erect. Right? I don't know how much is visible on the screen, but let me show it to you. How is your body going to be? One, your head has to be held erect. You have to widen your chest, but your shoulders should be relaxed. You're not at attention. Your stomach should be in. Your butt should be straight. And your legs should be slightly apart. If you are speaking at a Toastmasters session, giving a prepared speech, project speech, name it, whatever it is, the best stance would be one leg slightly in front of the other. Now, is that visible to everyone? I'm not sure. I should do it. Okay. This way. that you are giving a session where you're sitting on a chair. Can I take this chair, please? And you're speaking. No matter you're nervous or whatever it is, never clutch the arm as if your life depended. That clearly shows you are not do anything like bringing your hand. All right, you think nobody can see you. In an interview. You're facing an interview. Again here, please do not talk to the chair. Nor do you clasp your hands tight. The best way is to keep your legs slightly apart. Of course, for the ladies, widen your legs too much, it does not look very nice. Do not. And it depends on the kind of dress you wear. If you're wearing a short dress, don't widen your legs. You can lean back slightly, not relax. Show the interviewers being there for being interviewed. Also, the best way of being in an interview is to show that you're interested. How do you show you're interested? You move forward slightly when you answer the question. In order to whatever you say. The best way is if you can mirror whatever the interviewers are doing, not every single aspect of it, but this smile, yours is smile. That makes I'm saying all this because I thought I'd finish up with my sitting aspect and be done with it. One more thing. Even if you are with friends, mind you, it is not just friends who are there, people are observing you and they are touching you. And first, the impression is made, it's very hard to change. If you are sitting, that's the story. So, be conscious about it. Of course, they say, it is said, one particular book I've read is the Dictionary of Body Language by Joe Navarro, who's an FBI agent. I would recommend that. So in this book, it says, if you sit with your legs slightly apart, instead you put your legs and turn it down this, that means you feeling very uncomfortable about something. You're already giving a signal that you want this. Alternatively, something like this. This again indicates that you are very uncomfortable. So why am I telling you about this? Because what you want to know before you learn that your positive traits, that you have positive traits, and that's good, that you want others to recognize. And you want to learn react either to make it feel comfortable, alternatively, you want to make the person feel more uncomfortable, go on in whatever way you want. Now let's continue. Tricks to make yourself, how shall I say, more likable, more self-confident. Can I have sugar bread? Sugar. Right? Now assume that I want to shake his hands. See, you're going to be judged on every minute aspect of what you're doing. So as soon as a lady opens her hand, it's for you, as she's already offered to do, you need to shake the hand, a full handshake. 1, 2, 3. That's it. You don't hold on to it for your life. You do not do that. Don't hold your hand over your hand. Not done. Alternatively, I give you my hand and don't do this. You know, if I were an engineer, for a job, and I offer you my hand, and you just keep it that way, I said, you know, I don't like that. You already give me signals that you're not being comfortable. You're not comfortable. Your body language is telling you you're at the moment not comfortable standing there. And you don't want to shake. All right. I need you to show them as what not should not be done. One is, if you're going to give me a hand, just the tips are right. Your hands are clammy. Oh, that's what you tell me. So, do I continue? Yeah. The best thing is, as I told you, give your hand, grip my hand firmly. And give a, you know, your grip is nice, comfortable. I'm telling you from my point of view. It's okay. So nobody be uncomfortable about it. Just sit firm and give it firm. You are judged on that. And also you got to how to step. Now can I have one of the ladies? I don't want to make him feel more uncomfortable. So please, Shiva, go sit. Now this is Sanjana, right? I can make her feel uncomfortable very easily. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't. Alright? If I come so close, I'm invading the space. And instead I do that, she will take a step back. And her taking a step backward is indicated. Her body language tells me that no, this is not okay. Don't go. Right? Now, if Sanjana is comfortable with me, even if I were to face her direct and I speak to her, she meets my eye, I know she's comfortable. Most times, when you want to speak, you always are at a slight angle to each other because you feel this is more comfortable. Only very close friends face each other directly, one on one. And enemies to face each other one on one like this, right? They go in your face. Not done. Body language is so important. Right. So thank you, my God. So what are the positive body language messages that you can give? First and foremost, your posture. How do you walk? Now, if you see me walk, I walk. Okay, she's not somebody that I want to be. She looks too confident. Say, I walk this way. We're keeping muggers. If I were to walk on the road that way, you God, he's scared already. Then, don't it is not good. Always keep that straight. That, you know, the instant you see a person, you say, wow, that person. Of course, dress matters. But dress is just one option. So I said, who gives stars? References to facial expression. Do you know the easiest way of making a friendly gesture? As soon as you see a person, you say, hi. Your eyebrows flash up for a second, come down, and your head is angled slightly to one side. That is the most welcoming gesture that you can do to a person. You can all try. You can say, huh? But if you keep your eyebrows raised for too long a time, this is something wrong with you. In my specific case, let me tell you, I have one eyebrow raised all the time. It is since birth. Please. My dad asked me after 16 years, what's wrong with your eyebrows? I said, no, that's the way it is. So, when you have your eyebrows up, it means you're conferring with something. You're okay. If you are not, do you know how you will react? The eyebrows come inwards, down. The instant you see somebody doing that, you know they're trying to be very hard. So, the do's and don'ts of body language. I do hope you have got the essence of something I want to tell you. And in life, how you say in Toastmasters, that's what they say. How you say it. When you say it, when your hands are open and you gesture forward or downwards, that's okay. But remember one thing, never point a finger at anybody. Hey, you, I would like you to come here. This pointing of the finger is very good. Say, hey, you, please. Say, you realize when I do these two actions, the difference in the two. Be very careful what gestures. Do you know, I don't know how many of you know it's showing the finger. Do you understand this concept of showing the finger? It's the most, a thing not ever done in the US. If you point a middle finger up, don't ever do it. It's considered very rude. And I will not explain anything further about it. Okay. Do I have anything more to say about body language? Yes. I would like to reiterate. You can win friends by smiling, making eye contact. Also, there's one thing that I forgot to mention. When you use words, your actions that you do with the body language should match the words. Suppose I say, I'm happy to see you. Am I happy to see you? Yes, it was indicated that I was happy to see you. Suppose I said, did those things gel? No. So what happens? People will think that I am deceptive. What? That I am deceptive just because I said I'm happy to see you and the body language did not match. So these are very critical things. Say what you mean. Subconsciously, your body language will gel with your words. Words are important, but how you say your words is more important. Again, smile. And this eye contact is something so so very important. You meet a person, hi. If he, hey, he's being very honest. He's looking me in the eye, chippy eye, refusing to see. Looking me in the eye. That means he or she has come to mind. So, posture, facial expressions, most important being the smile, eye contact, and these small things make such an impact. Now, these are all positive body language. What are things that you never ever do? Now, if you do this, for sure, you will talk about that. These are the positive characteristics. These small differences, but it makes it. Don't pick on your clothes. Don't doodle. If you doodle, what does it mean? I'm bored. Obviously. Fortunately, if you look at the watch, I haven't seen so funny anybody do it anymore. So I'm not saying something. But if you look at the watch, it means, okay, when should it end? The quicker the search does, the better it is. This happens. When you want to polish. Go shop. I hope the session on body language has been interesting. Thank you for giving me. Any questions? You can ask me any questions you want. All right, then I'll ask you a question. What is the difference between body language and sign language? You're there, but what languages? Yeah, unconsciously, subconsciously, sign language, consciously make all those gestures and movements. So that is a big difference. Any questions? Yes, please. Absolutely, that's the whole point of this particular thing. It's a skill you can develop. You can practice in front of the mirror as to how you want to stand. Truly, you can do that. Guys, some of you, when you take up space, that means you're being authoritative. Yes, that is true. One more simple thing. Now, if I'm very uncomfortable with Shiva, right? I'll do one simple thing. Suppose we are seated. I will bring this object in front of me. The instant I bring this object to me is I want to do this. If I am comfortable with him, I'll say, okay, move this. Let us not there be any barrier between us. You see anybody doing that, you know what they're trying to tell you. Yes. Speech making is very important. You want to say they really climb high. So you say they climb high. It doesn't mean that you prance around the whole stage and be doing all kinds of things. It's just that make a gesture which emphasizes the words that you are using, which gives it much more effect. It has to be played and towards the optimum level, but not over. Yes. Yeah, see, there are two things. One, yes, when you're totally, you don't agree with what they say, or you don't want them to come any further with whatever they say. This gesture is that you are closed. You're not willing to listen to them. It's what you're telling. Alternatively, if the AC is too much, then I'm going to hold my hands this way. It depends upon the situation. If I do that, it means I'm feeling cold. But you have to know exactly what it is and when you're doing this. In parts of India, I've seen that when you want to show your boss that you are agreeing with him, I've seen it in many movies. They do. But generally speaking, in today's world, in a city, and you do this, it means some parts of it, yes. See, in India, for saying yes, what do? Yes and no, we are totally confused about. I don't know why. In the West, they make fun of us because about the yes and the no.
They don't understand.
But there are, as I said, finger pointing is not allowed. I mean, it's considered very gross. So, but you can know from the body language as to what the person is trying to do. Now, one obvious body language is if you are angry, your body is rigid, you know full well that the person is angry. It's universal. And by your action, people can make out as to what it is that they're trying to say. The instant you go into, you curl yourself up, that indicates that you're afraid. You want the person to be off. Move. That fetal position, okay, that shows fear. Or stress, incredible stress. Right, I think I've overshot my time. Last question, please. As I say, it depends upon the words. Like, as they also say, like, you want to say a father, son, and child. You can have the father. Naturally, I mean, casually walk across to the role of the father and then the son. And the children. Okay, fine. The more space you take, walk naturally across, some of the speeches they do it so well. You could watch some of the World Championship speeches. Incredible. Without really, obviously showing it, they occupy the full stage. It's a skill. Right? Anyway, thank you. Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Ruchainger, for that wonderful session on body language. I'm sure all of us have something to take back and improve on our next. I see people raising their back, trying to show their interest in the next session. Let me quickly get started with the next session. This session is an impromptu session or a table topic session. It helps you improve, or rather, help you speak better and thinking while on the feet. Today's table topic master is extremely patient, also because she's a doctor. She graduated from Bangalore Medical College and she's a gynecologist by profession. She aims to deliver happy and healthy babies, and we just saw one live example last week who has attended here with us. She believes that attitude is the most important thing because that defines how a person believes and behaves. She loves doing yoga, and I'm pretty sure she practices it every day. Please welcome the table topic master for today, Toastmaster Dr. Arundhati. Please, a huge round of applause.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sai, for the beautiful introduction. Good evening, my dear fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. As a table topic master, I have brought a bunch of topics which stimulates, enhances your thinking, analyzing, organizing, and expressive abilities. Today, the topics which I brought has to be answered like this. First minute, the speaker whom I call is supposed to speak for the topic, and the next minute against the topic. Without much ado, I would like to start the session. And my first topic is, you should always take risks in life. And this topic goes to Toastmaster Vijay Upendra.
Thank you, good topic master. Good evening, Toastmasters, welcome guests. Yes, one has to take risk. Without taking risk, nobody can go forward or develop one's own self. Taking risk makes a person to learn new skills also. That is the advantage of taking risks. Coming to the taking irrational risks in life, that costs a lot. For example, investing in any financial instrument without even knowing what the risk is, you will lose the money. Come to the street also. It's always better to understand the risk. What I mean by risk, understand the risk means the ability to digest the risk is what risk appetite is. How many of you here understand the risk appetite properly? Normally, people think that appetite means hungry. It is not so when it comes to the question of risk. So, understand the risk properly. Take the risk wherever you are confident, you are able to digest that. If not, don't take the risk. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. That is calculative risk. Now, my next topic is idolizing sports player is right. And for this topic, I would like to invite Toastmaster Shiva.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, for that wonderful topic. And once again, a very good evening to my fellow Toastmasters. Idolizing sports players is right. In India, you know, we idolize everybody, politician, actor, sports person. But out of the three, if you'd ask me, who is the best one to idolize, I would say it's the sports player. Because there is a lot of effort there. There is no, there is show business. But that person has got there. So, maybe an Olympic sports person, maybe a cricketer. And in this aspect, I would say follow Olympic sports people. They need a lot more of your support compared to the cricketers. Cricket is already very popular. Somebody like table tennis player Sharat Kamal or what's his name? Sharat Kamal or our track athlete, javelin thrower, Neeraj Chopra. People like this, idolizing these people, you will definitely be inspired in life. Why idolizing sports people is not the right thing to do? If you'd ask me, sports people can sell you products on Instagram. They have a lot of brand collaborations and these sort of things. And it can happen that you end up buying certain things which you don't need, but because your favorite player, because Virat Kohli is selling it, because Yuvraj Singh is selling it, you end up buying that thing. And I would say for that reason, don't idolize sports people. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shiva, for the beautiful take on the topic. Next topic is growing older is beautiful. And this topic goes to Toastmaster Pavani.
Yes, I think after 40 only I am exploring the world better than what I used to do in youth. Maybe it's because of the technology or the ability that we understand the people around us. And even while as the age goes up, we feel the countdown started. We are not doing what we have to do. So in that way, as the age grow, as we are growing, we'll have to learn more. We'll have to explore more seriously, maybe in meeting people or going places. I must say, I don't feel like I'm aging, but still, only when I remember the number, I feel like, no, I have to do it. And it pushes us to do a little more faster. And then that's the good thing about aging, I can say. In the same way, we miss some opportunities that we couldn't do because of the age. Like, I love to do bungee jumping. I don't know how far I can do it now. So we are not supposed to miss, and we have to do it in time. That's what I can say. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pavani, for that nice, graceful aging. My next topic is always tell the truth. Always tell the truth. And for this, I would like to invite Toastmaster A.S. Balaji.
Always tell the truth. Because you need to remember you are a human and you have two options in front of you: to lead a life of principles and to lead a life with absolutely no principles. And if you're leading a life with principles, isn't it your innate duty to have truth as the path that you need to walk on? We are from the land where we have a world-renowned figure like Mahatma Gandhiji, who's told truth is the strongest pillar and the only unshakable pillar, because when you're on this pillar, there is nothing but clarity. But let me tell you, what's the use of truth? Because the other day, there was this person, Murugesh, who was selling tea in his shop. And there was a thief who came running with a big knife in his hand. And he asked me if there was anyone in the shop because he wanted to steal the hotel. And I was thinking, okay, I need to be honest here. And I told, yes, Mr. Murugesh is here. He's got the keys to the cash box. Now, obviously, this was the truth that I should have never told. And by telling the truth, you are just expanding and extending your life. Because every time your grandmother asks for something, you can't go up to her and explain to her, look, this is not good for your health. This is going to add more calories in your body. And at the age of 80, this is not the kind of diet you need to have. Instead, what do I tell? I just tell, Granny, today is Friday, and on Fridays, you don't eat onions, and hence savor from that trouble. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't speak truth and speak truth. Truth is something that is good for good people. So when you're speaking good for good people, you're already speaking the truth.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Balaji, for letting us know the new dimensions of truth and truthfulness. Thank you. My next topic would be, your profession is the best profession. And this topic goes to Toastmaster Sanjana.
Your profession is the best profession. Okay, so I'm from a mechanical engineering background, and to be honest, I'm the only girl in the team of 17 men. So I get to deal with a lot of different emotions, how I deal with my emotions. So it's been a great learning for me that way. And when you're in a team of just men, you have to also take your stance and ensure that you are the embodiment of honesty and the feminism part of it. But at the same time, it's not a very good job. Men are talking so much all the time. At least the ones in my team. And you never get to share certain jokes. You're always kept away from the inner circle. So that way, it's not a good job. So it's both.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sanjana, for sharing your thoughts. Next topic would be partner is preferred to children. Partner is preferred to children, and this topic goes to DTM MU.
Madam Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and the welcome guests. Partner is preferred to children. Actually, I'm getting confused. For or against, either way, I'll be damned because I don't know the meaning of either of them. So, what is a partner and preferred to children? So, let me tell you. When you want to have a company in life, you would say you want to have a good partner. You know, your wife could be a good partner. So always partner will be the lifelong, and you will be always like to have partner. And these children, you can never believe them. They will be always taking advantage of you. And ultimately, it's always the partner is the one who will be with you all life long, whether it's my wife or my living partner or whatever it is. So I would definitely say the partner is always preferred against children. Don't ever have children, or even if you have children, don't ever confide with them anything, because you need not you cannot depend on the children as much as you can depend on partner. But on the contrary, let me tell you, if I told you partner, you have to believe. Don't take my word for it. Because ultimately what happens, let me tell you, children, one thing is they are embodiment of godliness. And whatever real truth is that, they will come and share with you. Children, a partner is not like that. Always some ulterior motives. Something, tell something, I should do like this. So always you should be wary of partners. Whereas children, they're always dependable. You can always believe them because they're from heart. So I would say that you should always prefer children against partner. The partner is all folks. Ultimately, children is the one who can always believe you can confide in them, believe in them. So that is what my take on this. So that ultimately, I don't know what the conclusion is, whether the partner is preferred or children. But I am as much confused as perhaps the table topic master is. Back to you, madam.
Thank you very much, sir, for this enjoyable and practical take. Next topic would be, we are very lucky to be born in this modern world. And this topic goes to Toastmaster Mamta.
My table topic is we are very lucky to be born in this modern world. I can say we are lucky too, and we are unlucky also. Because since the technology has come up so much, we don't talk with the elders at home, we don't spend time with the family, children, whatever it is. So, and another way, during COVID time, there was online classes. It was helpful for kids to know more. I mean, teachers were also convenient, and it was avoiding to spread COVID for children.
Thank you very much, Toastmasters, for your active participation and very alert responses. Because of time constraint, I am winding up the session and handing over the charge back to the MC, Toastmaster Sai Sneha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dr. Arundhati. Well, we come to the end of 2 sessions, and now it's time for a short little break. We'll have a break for about 10 minutes, and we'll assemble back at exactly 8 o'clock. Toastmasters and guests, welcome back to the meeting once again. And here we are now in the final session of today's meeting, that is a general evaluation. This session helps you to understand how the meeting went, learn feedback, and apply in the next meeting. And today's general evaluator helps you do it better than no one else. He has an eye for detail and is extremely cautious, and he always likes to keep it simple because simplicity works every single time. I've known him for the past couple of years, and every time I approach him with any kind of situation, he breaks it down into small bits and helps me get through it. That is the kind of caliber this man holds. He's a founder, member of Mekon Communication Club, also the past president. Over these years of his Toastmaster journey, he's helped mentor hundreds of Toastmasters, and he's helped a couple of them even achieve their distinguished Toastmaster status. If I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. In the year 1819, he's been given the district honors for helping the president distinguish district, and that was an honorary achievement for him. Please welcome the general evaluator for today, distinguished Toastmaster A.K. Prabhakar. Huge round of applause. Is there anything to be operated here, or it's done? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. General evaluation is something that, as a meeting, how it went, is the one that I'm going to perform as a role taker here. It is not that I'm going to the details of it, because today it's there is no project speech as such, so there is no evaluation. So to start with, I request Sergeant at Arms, has it been posted? So you can give your ballot opinion on best performance on table topics and Tab G team and MT what? MTG. So right now you can, so that you are not prejudiced by the evaluation. I'll give 30 seconds, 30, 40 seconds if you want. Members will, it's open to members. So those who are members will receive that ballot. So please go ahead and complete the job. I consider it is done, or it's a work in progress, that way it's happening. So I'll proceed with the job that I'm having on hand. Let me declare that the meeting went about in a flawless manner. And it was held together by several people, role takers. I will elaborate on their performance in detail as I go along. The president, the sergeant at arms started at some point of time. The meeting was given a kickstart, and he has his own kind of style, which is a very underplayed way he brings about what he wants to say. And he said that ultimately, what he conveyed stands with me. Choose your words. It makes or mars a situation. That's what he said. And he was really on dot when it comes to expressing things in a very concise, succinct way. And he did a good job of that. Then we had the president talk about make announcements that things are going to happen as far as the district, and next week division conference is there. And division contests are there. And these are the things that was announced. At the same time, the announcement with regard to the next meeting regarding the planning was also brought about in business session, and followed by our president is somebody that somehow you cannot help liking. She has a way with words, and she is some kind of a very fluent, the words flow without much of a effort, and that kind of inspires the not our audience and members. And for such things, Sergeant at Arms and the President deserve a special round of applause. Let's give them. The President didn't really take time from the audience. She was to the point, made what it was required, and it was done. Then it was handed over to the master ceremonies, the really master. He has a way which is makes him very endearing to the audience. You can't help liking that man,
And he all the time makes it a point to drive a point in an underplayed way and in exactly the way it is required. Now words are wasted and he is there all the time. He gives the impression that he is there for everybody. And any given time you ask, I'll be there. That kind of impression he gives, and certain amount of solidity behind his words and his gestures. So he was a remarkable presenter. He talks about, first of all, he drew the attention of the audience by saying, I started drinking. See how the opening, very creative. And then he talked about lemon juice and words like that. So this is the kind of creativity that goes, and that makes him all the more likable person, I would say. And that should be, when he sets an example, a benchmark for others to follow, I would say. For that kind of effort, let's give a thunderous round of applause to the master. Then he introduced the special guest who gave the education session today. And it was, again, he gave the impression that we are having somebody who is experienced. At the same time, he gave the impression to us that better be listening. And that kind of introduction he gave, and the education session, I would say, was very well done. The kind of categorization, I just took, quantified the kind of hand gestures alone that she kind of displayed while speaking, and it went on to be more than 20. I counted, I got the list here and counted 20 different, even she may not be aware, but like this and like this, when you want focus like this, again can go on. It's a, and now the one is the hand gestures. Not only that, she took on to, beyond that gesture, she took to enthuse sometime, she kind of put a, like this one situation, like a springboard. And the leg were there in place, postures, facial expression. In the facial expression, within that, she had the eyebrow brought in, and she already she's applying there. She moved her eyebrow to imitate her. And not only that, the eyebrow movement also, the one you bring it together and you move it up and down. And only thing, and the smile, different types of smile. And you had two things missing. Some people can move the ear. That's one thing she didn't mention. And some people, more than that, some people, and she had the special knack to show that eyebrows can be independently, separately moved and or simultaneously. These are the kind, even within that, there was variations. And the eyes were very expressive. She could really move things in a way, while smiling it matched, while she was upset with somebody, she was showing that. Only other thing that she didn't use to show was the snorting, the flaring of the nose. When people are angry, the nose flares up. And this is one you can add up to your rapport. And so the hand gestures, the number is innumerable. I counted, I quantified. I wanted to quantify it because that's very, I thought she was really having a huge number. And add to that the face, then the leg movement, eyebrows, I saw talk. And not only that, she talked about spacing. And I thought it was a very important one to make it a point. And while sitting, postures, what should be, what should not be, she talked about it. And one critical statement she made, I feel that's one that stands with me as far as one line is concerned. Body language should match your looks. If it doesn't, it becomes plastic and or there's one category you can add again, plastic smile, like airline stewards, when we are about to disembark, they hold it like this. This is a plastic stuff. And this doesn't gel with the audience. Or people, the body speaks and the people know. And in fact, indirectly, she mentioned that also. It was a remarkably well prepared, and towards the end, she was using these kinds of things and this also. It's a kind of preparation that goes is tremendous, I would say. It's not easy to really come with that kind of preparation and do it with certain ease. And that's what the speaker did. And for that, what we always do is Toastmasters knows only one way. We give a resounding thunderous applause, please. Thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful education session. Now we move on to the table topic session. Somebody's waiting. Somebody wants to call. Please. Table topic session conducted by Toastmaster Dr. Arundhati Harle. She chose a kind of topic which were very nice and square. And you had to take a stand. One important thing that she drew in this from the speakers here who came to deliver table topic speeches is for and against. One thing to be noted here, in a given topic, if it is given a bland kind of topic, it's not easy to deal. Something like this. Your topic is GST. You have to take a stand on the plus side, the minus side, argue for or against it. So this kind of situation comes. What she did was she read out the topic and told you to switch, told the speaker to switch. And people should remember that is the foundation of dealing with table topics. She has given an opportunity to switch. You did it because she told you. But in some of the topics, the switching, you have to do it on your own. And that's what you should notice, observe, and imbibe into yourself, engrave yourself into it, that when you don't know how to deal with the topic, you have to create a situation where you argue for the topic. Then in case it doesn't gel, then you switch to the against the side of the topic and come to some sort of conclusion. But she did it in a way that audience or the speakers could do it on their own, gave an opportunity to do it. But it was very, very well done table topic session. Let's give her a special round of applause for that. When we come to the TABG team, I would like to invite Timer Vaishnavi to the lecture. Timer Vaishnavi, please.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. The business session commenced at 6:32 p.m. The welcome by Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Shiva was for 3 minutes, 19 seconds. The president address by Toastmaster Ankita was for 2 minutes, 20 seconds. The introduction of Toastmaster of the evening was for 47 seconds. And the report on previous meeting by DTM Udanka was for 2 minutes, 15 seconds. The MC of the day, Toastmaster Sai Snehal, took 12 minutes, 40 seconds. The education session by DTM Usha Iyengar was for 30 minutes, 18 seconds, followed by a question and answer session for 6 minutes, 23 seconds. The table topic session had 7 speakers, and the speakers were Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, 1 minute, 18 seconds, 1 minute, 30 seconds by Toastmaster Shiva, 1 minute, 20 seconds by Toastmaster Pavani. Toastmaster Balaji took 2 minutes, 19 seconds. Toastmaster Sanjana took 1 minute, 15 seconds. DTM MU Bhatt took 2 minutes, 1 second. Toastmaster Mamta took 37 seconds. Table topic master Toastmaster Arundhati ma'am took 3 minutes. The overall table topic session was for 13 minutes, 38 seconds. The break time was for 11 minutes, and the general evaluator till now took 11 minutes. Thank you. It's 30 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you. That was very well kept record of the events that took place. And let's give her a round of applause for that. Our counter, Toastmaster Pavani.
Sergeant at Arms Shiva Prasad, 2 hours. And Acting President Ankita, 3 hours. And Sai Snehal, Toastmaster of the Day, was flawless. And Timer Vaishnavi was flawless. Accounter Pavani with 1 and 1 pass. And Grammarian Balaji AS was flawless. PP Evaluator Shiva Prasad was flawless. And Education DTM Usha Iyengar was flawless. And Table Topic Master Arundhati, Toastmaster Arundhati was flawless. And Speaker 1 Vijay Upendra and Toastmaster Vijay Upendra was flawless. And Speaker 2, Toastmaster Shiva Prasad had 1 R and 1 you know. And Toastmaster Pavani was maybe. Toastmaster Balaji was flawless. And Toastmaster Sanjana had 2 R's and 1 so. Toastmaster MU Bhatt used so and you know. And Toastmaster Mamata was flawless. And till now, General Evaluator AK Toastmaster AK Prabhakara sir used 1 so and kinda. That's all for now.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pavani. I would rather make a point that you can speak little louder so that audience can hear and learn what you have noted down. And by the by, so you know, unless it is used more than 2 or 3 times, it is not a curse. Let me put it that way. So when you point out that such and such a word was used, you can as well say how many times it was used. And that gives, if you quantify, always you are safe. Even in office situation, quantify, provide the data, and then the trust comes automatically. I would say always quantify. I would quote Infosys Narayan Murthy says that bring the data to the table, we will make the opinion. So that's the point I'm trying to drive in the process. So it's done very well. Speak loud. That's about it. You did a good job, sincere job. Let's give her a round of applause. Grammarian Balaji, AS Balaji, Toastmaster Balaji, please. Yes, switching is required.
Yes. Thank you, sir. So there was some great language that we witnessed today. I got very less content on a few sentences that we could work on today. I think major credit goes to our great education session that we had. I must say today's education session was a great example, an illustration of how to use simple language to make it all the more effective. So the entire 25 minutes time frame itself was an example of how you could use simple language for effective deliverance of the same. And getting to some good usages of the language in particular, allowing your sword lose its charm, deemed to be, the body truly speaks, long lost friend, it's universal, ability to digest risk appetite. Toastmaster Pavani, just bringing this up because you all know we learned it the other day. Using the name in the right way definitely amplifies your usage of language itself. New dimensions of truth and truthfulness. Critical statement becomes plastic. Body speaks and people know. Now, for a few sentences that could be used in a certain different way, who is in slum could be used as who is in slum could be used as who is poor, because some words when used could be derogatory for a certain part of the audience. Exam which you wrote could be said as exam you wrote. Help them to better could be help them better. Whatever it is could be any. It's an impromptu session. It's a session for impromptu speaking. By calling it an impromptu session, you might change the meaning of the session itself. To learn new skills also could be to learn new skills too. She was showing that could be she was giving her expressions. Eyebrows I saw could be saw her eyebrows. And for the word of the day, there were two clear usages of the word of the day. That was done by distinguished Toastmaster Usha Iyengar and Toastmaster Sanjana. That's my report for the day. Thank you so much, and over to the general evaluator.
That was the grammar Gyani for you, a Pandit, expert in grammar, who has given everything in detail and also told what went right. And the one thing in this context, I would like to know, what was the word of the day, word of the week that was given and word of the week that was told by our grammarian? Is there a difference or something? What is the word of the day that he was trying to convey? In the agenda, it is altruism. What was that he was? Embodiment, is it? Oh, I think there's a difference. So that's why I was a little thrown off the guard. I was trying to figure out what was he saying and what was he saying and what was actually in the agenda. Agenda, it was altruism. And what he was telling is embodiment. That's why I couldn't catch. Anyway, two persons have used it, and the grammarian has given an excellent report, I would say. A remarkable effort. Let's give him a special round of applause for that effort. We have PP in Toastmaster Shiva Prasad. Your report, please.
Once again, very good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Throughout the meeting, there was no talk related to sex, religion, or politics. There were a couple of phone rings in the middle that might have disturbed the speaker, rings or notifications. And a couple of people entered while the speakers were speaking. Coming to the online audience, most of them did not have their cameras on. I think we can change that for the next meeting. That's all from my side. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiva Prasad. You are very precise and to the point as far as pointing things that went right is concerned, not that didn't go right is concerned. Entering during the applause, that issue can be sorted out if you put a nameplate there, something, a board that we used to hang there, so that people know that during the applause only they can enter. That can be solved. And it was there in place. We are missing the board, must be there. A couple of them must be there. So you can fix it there next time. And he was alert enough to point out when his role was brought about to explain in this lecture that to switch off, put this mobile on silent mode. But that very well might have been explained in the very first instance as soon as Sergeant at Arms take the lecture position. That would be the better time and place, but he improved upon the situation. And that presence of mind is something that he has displayed time and again. For that kind of alertness, let's give him a special round of applause. That needs to be appreciated. It needs to be appreciated in terms of recognition by telling that point that wherever he is right, it has to be told that way. Then I have already given my view on the performance of the master of ceremonies and the table topic, the president, and that's about it. And I have had one of the finest meetings, I would say, which is it has a hallmark of Mekon Communication Club meeting, as described by our education speakers, that very professionally done meeting. And one thing that I want the president may be pointing it out, but next time onwards, we should say at the very beginning that as per agenda, let's keep the feedback ballot position in the Pathways website open as soon as the speaker comes in, so that we can enter our feedback into that place as quickly as possible. So on this note, I would like to hand over the control back to the Master of Ceremonies, Sai Snehal Reddy.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster A.K. Prabhakar. Wow, it was such a wholesome meeting. If you thought the theme was a coincidence to the education session speaker, it was definitely not. It was chosen on purpose to make the words and body language come together and have a wholesome session. And that's what we try to do today. I hope you all had a great time. I had a great time being this side of the lectern after a really long time. Until next time, I'm signing off and back to the President, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sai Snehal, for beautifully weaving this meeting together. And I would also like to especially thank DTM Usha Iyengar for coming all the way and delivering this very insightful and wholesome session that on body language. I think all of us do realize that words are important, but when words are used with proper body language, they go a long way in making a great difference and impact on the audience that we are addressing. And that's exactly what you helped us understand with the help of illustrations, with the help of the sentences and words that you chose to drive home the message. And I'm sure that all our members present in today's meeting are going to take these lessons back home and ensure that they implement more effective body language while they are communicating, not just in Toastmasters, but even outside of this realm. Also, I would like to thank the Toastmaster Arundhati for conducting that table topic session very flawlessly, and all the members who got up their courage, came behind the lectern and spontaneously gave responses on the topics that she had given. And of course, the general evaluation session by DTM A.K. Prabhakara, as always, was very insightful, very good suggestions pointed out by him. So all in all, we've had a brilliant meeting, very wholesome, very fruitful. And thank you all the role takers for coming all the way and making this meeting what it has been today. I would like all the members, just reiterating what DTM A.K. Prabhakara said, please do keep your Basecamp feedback open. All the role takers who have attended this meeting and put their foot forward, please give them feedback. It goes a long way in encouraging speakers to keep coming and giving speeches and taking up roles more actively. Also, tomorrow, there will be a YouTube link shared on the group. This would be the recording of the proceedings of today's entire meeting. So any of you who would like to revisit the education session, maybe make some notes that you missed to make, or just watch the meeting all over again, you're most welcome to just click on that link and do go and watch the meeting, the recording of the entire meeting. Now it is time for me to hand over the awards for the day for those members who have been better than the rest in the responses that they had given. Starting off with the best TAPG role taker, that is the timer, our counter, parliamentary procedure evaluator, and the grammarian. This goes to Toastmaster Balaji for giving a very detailed and comprehensive report on the good usages and the not so good usages. Congratulations, Toastmaster Balaji. The best role taker in the major role taker category goes to the very insightful, the very flawless session conducted with by our distinguished Toastmaster A.K. Prabhakara sir. Congratulations to you. And coming to the last, the best table topic response. This goes to DTM MU Butt, who spoke about how important companionship is in life. Congratulations, DTM MU Butt. It was a great meeting. Thank you all for making it. Before we close the meeting, let's all rise for the national anthem. Thank you, everyone. See you all next week. Bye-bye and good night.